Hi, my name is Bear and let's start with Pentiment. This game looks kinda dumb, but it's made by Obsidian Entertainment. Yeah, the same guys behind Pillars of Eternity, Fallout New Vegas, The Outer Worlds, and many others.
What are the others?
Oh, shut up! This is a narrative-driven historical game focusing on character development, with heavily stylized art and choice-driven storytelling in early 16th century Bavaria. You will play as Andreas Moller, a clever illustrator caught up in a series of murders in a secluded abbey over the course of 25 years. You will be responsible for conducting your own investigation to decide the fate of the community, but each decision will have lasting consequences and draws you closer to the center of underlying conspiracy. People on Steam are saying that the writing is top quality, art style is amazing, and animations are great. And yeah, the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score as well. Syberia: The World Before. The game consists of two parts. In the first one, you will play as a girl who is beginning a brilliant career as a pianist. However, shadows begin to appear over her future at the dawn of the Second World War, and the next part of the story will take action to a year of 2004, where you will play as the girl imprisoned in the salt mine. A tragic event propels her into a new adventure in search of her identity. So he will play in both timelines and explore a fantastic and poetic world with its amazing sceneries. One thing I can say for sure, this game is beautiful. Of course, not as beautiful as you, my friend, but still looking very good. The art direction is at the top level, and it alone should spike your interest in this adventure game with a great story, especially if you like to solve some complicated puzzles and not crack hardest riddles. Oh yeah, sadly the game is not for the weak, it will squeeze your brain power quite well, and all that is accompanied with a symphonic soundtrack composed by Einon Zur. You probably know his tracks from Syberia 3, Fallout, Dragon Age, and Prince of Persia. Also on Steam you can try the free demo version.
Electro Ride, the Neon Racing.
This is a racing game with 1980s retro vibes set in an alternate Europe. Here the Eastern Bloc did not fall, but transformed into a center of eternal wealth and progress. That is where the fame awaits you. Here you'll find no ABS, no traction control, no modern electronic systems, only you and a beautiful classic vehicle with super powerful neon lights. The more neon lights, the faster your car is. Everyone knows that. In Electro Ride you'll have to race against 3 opponents. Show your tackling and drifting skills on 20 racetracks in quick race or 15 races in story mode, and also try out more than 20 cars. Also you can play it with your mother-in-law in the beloved split screen mode. People are praising a good race design and beautiful scenery, and the music in the game matches the surroundings really well. The only bad thing is lack of introduction to the story, and the game is quite short in general. XCOM 2. What can I say? A legendary classic that cannot be excluded from any list like that. 20 years have passed since world leaders offered an unconditional surrender to alien forces. XCOM, the planet's last line of defense, was left decimated and scattered. Now the aliens rule Earth, building shining I will leave this one. Building shining cities that promise a brilliant future with lots of potato salad for humanity, but at the same time concealing a sinister agenda and eliminating all who dissent from the new order. No potato salad for them. All you have to do is to regain control of the Earth. It may sound easy, and it is, because you are awesome and aliens. Aliens suck balls. Show them who's the boss. Morkredd. This is an innovative physics puzzle game that may be interesting for fans of darker tropes. The game is best played as a couch co-op experience, so be sure that you have at least one imaginary friend to play this game with. Here you are the orb's protector, and without it you will descend into a world of death and eternal darkness. You will have to survive and master over 60 puzzles while avoiding the shadows caused by your partner and the environment. The game is without a doubt a work of art. People on Steam are saying that Morkredd is beautiful but very short. You can beat it in a bit more than 2 hours. Tyranny. Like Pillars of Eternity or Fallout New Vegas, it is created by the narrative masterminds at Obsidian Entertainment. Tyranny is a classic-styled RPG with an original story shaped and molded by your actions. Cool thing is that here you will play as an influential villain. You can choose to stay on the evil path or defy your dark master and take a turn to a light side after all. Game looks great, it's really aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and reviews on Steam are very positive as well. You have to scroll hard to find any bad ones. As people say, this game plays just like Baldur's Gate, so if you like the classics, you probably won't be disappointed with this one as well. Although be prepared to read a lot. This is more like a book than an actual game. You will get your fighting portion as well, but it is a slow-paced game. Make sure that you have several hours of free time before you sit down with it. And I mean it, when I played it for the first time, I had 2 hours of free time, and it felt like I hadn't even started the game. 8-bit Hordes. Basically, this is a Warcraft 3 if it would be made using the Minecraft engine. Here you'll find two factions, the Dark Orcs and their undead friends versus those annoying humans, dwarves, elves and all that puny stuff in general. You will collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of evil or, you know, pathetic good, and ultimately crush your opponents. Game offers 24 offline campaign missions, 12 co-op missions to play with your mother-in-law and 10 multiplayer maps that support up to 8 trolls online, literally and figuratively. AI is present as well. It has multiple difficulty options, also it can play in a team with you or destroy you. Game is easy to understand and is really user-friendly. If you like RTS games, there is no doubt that you may like this one as well. Dead Island Definitive Edition. The same developers who made Dying Light created this zombie-infested game as well, and this zombie apocalypse is more beautiful than ever. You will be running from and killing undead in the beautiful tropical island, a wonderful paradise on Earth, and this contrast is really great. Exploring this island is really fun, from the zombie-infested deserted city to secluded beaches and vast highlands. Roam around in order to discover the story behind the zombie outbreak. You can also play in a story-based 4-player co-op mode. Also, have you noticed that this game actually calls zombies zombies? Not walkers, roamers, crazed ones, biters, freakers and so on, but actual zombies, and they have my respect for not trying to invent the bicycle again. Zombies are zombies.
But what if they are fast and smart?
Then they are fast, smart zombies, period. Anyway, in Dead Island Definitive Edition you will get the main game and all the DLCs as well. Also graphics are in HD and so on, and the price is more than great. Old World. A really nice game for Civilization and Crusader Kings fans. It is an historical strategy game where you lead your empire through multiple generations, building a grand legacy to last beyond your own years. Here each of the 7 kingdoms has 4 noble families that provide various benefits when put in charge of your cities. So you will obviously have to marry for politics, raise your heirs and manage your relationship with the other influential noblemen of your kingdom. So like in that movie I never saw with Vin Diesel, family is what matters here, and if you want to be a strong ruler, your family must be strong as well. So probably marriages between cousins or brothers and sisters here and there is what you actually want. You may think that this is just a simple clone of Civilization, but the game actually takes about 40 hours to beat and contains 3000 unique events inspired by history and mythology. Review score hovers around 80% of positivity, so despite some minor things, all is good in this field. Dawn of Man. This is a nice city-building game where you control some ancient people, hunt mighty mammoths, gather various herbs and build Stonehenges. Although, what is the meaning of them? The game also has great AI. Not as great as a Skynet, but that is nice because Dawn of Man will fail if it tries to conquer the real world. Although we never know what simple AI is plotting against us. We will never know until it's too late. The biggest flaw of the game, in my opinion, is the game's color palette. Boring greenish-brownish tones everywhere can be really hard to the eye, and the game itself is focused on survival and not war, so keep that in mind if you like to wage battles. Of course, there are some war elements. You have to defend your settlements from various raider scum, but that's almost it. Gamedec Definitive Edition. This is a single-player, non-combat cyberpunk RPG. You are a game detective who solves crimes inside virtual worlds by using your wits to gather information from your witnesses and suspects. Also get to the bottom of deceptive schemes, save lives and investigate the relationships between virtual worlds and their inhabitants. The game continually adapts to your choices and never judges, just like your dog does. Also, it sounds a bit like Disco Elysium, and that's a great thing. Although keep in mind that here you will not find any battles and no fighting is available. Pick it up only if you like to read and carefully analyze sentences in dialogues. Plague Tale Requiem. After escaping your devastated homeland, you will travel far south to new regions and various forsaken cities. There you attempt to start a new life and control Hugo's curse. Yeah, the kid is cursed, but you, instead of dropping him into the ocean and forgetting which ocean it was, you travel with him. You know, no Hugo, no problems, but you chose problems. So everything that happens from now on is basically your fault. People on Steam are talking that this game will make you cry, mostly because of the story, but a tier or two will also drop when you realize that the game is super slow and your movement speed is even slower. Despite that, Plague Tale Requiem has about 90% of positive reviews, and if you like story-rich adventure games, it's a must-play sooner or later. Dead by Daylight. This is a multiplayer 4 vs 1 horror game where one player takes the role of the savage killer and the other 4 players play as survivors, trying to escape the killer and avoid being caught, tortured and killed. Survivors play in third person have the advantage of better situational awareness. You know, when you go near the corner of the house, you can see what is happening without exposing your silly face, and the killer plays in first person. I personally think that this concept came from studying nature. Various herbivores have peripheral vision and the predators are best at seeing what's in front of them, so they took this concept and implemented it here. Anyway, the survivor's goal in each encounter is to escape the killing ground without getting caught by the killer, something that sounds easier than it is, especially when the environment changes every time you play. And if you play as a killer, you must help survivors to escape safely, except not. Hellslave. An interesting game for the fans of Darkest Dungeon. Here the world is coming to an end and humanity is on the brink of extinction. A very original and innovative plot never heard before. So you will have to save humanity from a demon invasion by making a pact with the devil and praising one of 6 demons to avoid humanity's demise into darkness. You will have to use your newly acquired demonic power against the invaders, but it may have a bigger impact on you than you thought. Here you'll customize your character around a passive skill tree, discover and experiment with dozens of traits and demonic powers. Also find great synergies between skills and achieve destructible combos to send your adversaries back to hell, or just to hell if they were never in hell before. You know, just to make things clear. People on Steam are saying that the game has an amazing art style, dark and gritty theme and amazing first act, but it lacks polish and may become a bit boring over time. Despite that, the price is quite nice, and if you are a fan of these dungeon crawlers, it may be a good game for you to try. Generation Zero. It may not be the best game on this list. It holds only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but the setting and the atmosphere of the game is really worthy of your attention. Honestly, the game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is a story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. Here you will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day, Swedes woke up early in the morning and saw that their beloved Syberia is overrun by evil robots. Where did they came from, who made them, nobody knows. Probably evil Norwegians who were envious of Swedish reindeer herds. Everyone knows that casual Swedish deer produces 7 times the amount of milk than Norwegian deer does. Even the males. That is the fact, trust me, every Swede in the comments can confirm that. Anyway, the price is really wallet friendly, and most people who left a review on Steam have from 10 to a few hundred hours of playtime on record. Monster Hunter Rise. This is originally a Nintendo Switch game released back in 2021. Now we have this action-soaked game on Steam as well, and this version is obviously upgraded to meet our expectations. You will rise to the challenge and become a hunter, explore brand new maps and use a variety of weapons to take down fearsome monsters. That's what developers say, but I would change the word fearsome to airy-fairy, because those monsters are anything but fearsome. Although they are beautiful, I can't deny that. Each monster you hunt will provide materials that allow you to create new weapons and armor. You can also upgrade your existing gear so you can go back on the field and hunt even more airier and fairier monsters and earn even better rewards. Of course, all of that is presented in 4K resolution with ultra-wide monitor support and unlocked frame rate. Even with a discount, the game is a bit expensive, but you can try the free demo version on Steam. Panorama. If you know the game Dwarf Romantic, which I featured several times in my videos already, Panorama is basically the same, just with different graphic style. Well, not only that, here the world is completely 3D and you can zoom in on your creation and admire all those tiny details you have placed. Like, you know, notice that all the tractors are driven by cats, which is ridiculous and also very cute. So here you will create landscapes and also discover a wide range of structures with special abilities. Enter the world of beauty and tranquility with the panoramas of your own creation. Also, you can pet your animals and get additional scores for that. This is a great relaxing game after a hard day of work, also perfectly suitable for your mother-in-law. Shadow Tactics: Aiko's Choice. The game is a standalone expansion of the Shadow Tactics franchise, meaning that you are not required to have the main game to play it, and that Aiko's Choice is a full game with no strings attached. It is set in Japan around the early Edo period. Aiko's Choice is a stealth strategy where the main protagonist is a master of camouflage and distracts enemies disguised as a geisha. But it's not the only character you will be able to control. An agile ninja, mighty samurai, young thief, wise marksman and perverted penis doctor joins your cause as well. unplayable. Well, maybe not the latter, but you never know who is gonna jump to your aid unexpectedly. Tunguska, the Visitation. This is an isometric survival game that brings you to the dangerous Tunguska exclusion zone, where you will face deadly traps, infectious mutants, bandits, and well-armed rogue military. Game is inspired by the same story as a Stalker, the roadside picnic written by the Strugatsky brothers. Keep in mind that they wrote the story before any serious nuclear accident ever happened, so it's not actually tied to Chernobyl or any other nuclear disaster, just a post-apocalyptic, gritty and dark Soviet Union filled with unexplainable horrors. Although you can literally describe a casual Soviet Union without any post-apocalypse with the same words. People in the comments are saying that if you like Stalker or Atom RPG games, it's a no-brainer. Also, it has very positive reviews on Steam. Just keep in mind that despite walls of text, looting and side quests, it is an actual twin-stick shooter, and at first may be difficult to control. Although from my own experience, when you get used to it, everything will be fine. Vagrus, the Riven realms. This game is intended for thinkers, for people who like to carefully analyze statistics, plan their future adventures and so on. Although keep in mind that Vagrus is a very hard game. If you are looking for a casual experience, it is definitely not a good choice for you. So here you'll find a vast realm to explore, filled with unique locations, strange factions and a colorful cast of characters. The continent is a wasteland riddled with arcane anomalies, swarming with twisted monsters and haunted by roaming undead even after long centuries of rebuilding. People on Steam are saying that this is a beautiful game, but only for those with the patience and critical thinking. Despite that, the combat here is very basic and based on RNG, so don't expect miracles. Tainted Grail Conquest. This is a unique, infinitely replayable, story-driven hybrid between a deck-building roguelite and an RPG game. Here you will explore the ever-changing maps, fight with deadly enemies, and learn what happened to the cursed island of Avalon. You will find 9 unique hero classes, 460 cards, 340 passive skills, 50 masteries, and a lot of other stuff you don't really care to hear about right now if you never play the game. I can say one thing for sure, it's a dark fantasy game with all the dark benefits of it. Original monsters and beasts, creepy adversaries, and fun gameplay await you here. About 90% of the reviews are positive, so it's safe to say that there is a huge chance that you will like the game if you like the genre. People on Steam are saying that this game is gritty, gnarly, dark, and worth your money even when it's not on sale. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game has a model similar to the Arbillions, where you defend from the hordes of enemies and try to keep your base alive. Also, here you can literally relive the best moments of the Starship Troopers movie by defending your base from hordes of ladybugs. Anyway, here you'll encounter dozens of unique insect types, each with their own special abilities and skills. Also, the map has terrain elevation, true line of sight, and true line of fire, providing deep tactical gameplay, meaning that units that stand behind other units can't shoot unless they stand on a higher ground. Sadly, you can't play as an alien insect. It's not off the table completely, developers say, but now you can only play as a military human society. That's it. If you are wondering if you can build a base here, yes you can, but it's not the main focus of the game, I would say. Despite that, it has a very positive review score on Steam, and many commentators are stating that if you like Command & Conquer or StarCraft, you must try Starship Troopers as well, so do not ignore it. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.